What's up, Semen attention? Girls will use you if you're obsessed with their physical appearance. Now, this is one thing that helped me, I feel like, attract more girls from a mentality standpoint because I didn't just fall head over heels with a girl just because she was pretty. And a lot of girls, they'll use sex or they'll use their prettiness to use men, and it don't be the girl that really manipulating the guys. It be the guys that be so weak minded. That's how I see it. The guys be super weak minded, where just because she pretty, that don't mean like she don't treat you right or nothing. You just go with it just because she pretty. You get what I'm saying? And I no longer look at it like that. And a lot of guys would be like, or a lot of girls would be like, well, you know what I'm saying? You can hear conversations like, what do you bring to the table and what do you bring to the table? I believe they both have to help each other. I don't think it's like, oh, a man can only do this and a woman can only do that. I do believe it's certain roles or whatever, but I think for the most part, if you love somebody, you're going to help them. You're not going to make stuff one sided. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the woman see the man in danger or hurt or something, the woman gonna try to protect him because he love him, and then vice versa. If the man hurt, you get them. If the woman hurt, the man gonna protect her and make sure she all right. I think when you love each other, it's not, oh, the woman can only do this, oh, the man can only do this. If you love each other, you gonna show that regardless. You get what I'm saying? And so I think when it comes to physical appearance, you no longer focus on what that girl is actually doing for you. And I'm not the guy that's like, a woman got to be down and cleaning up and be this, and I control her and I tell her what to do. And no, it's not. I don't think it's all the way like that. But I do think, obviously, a man can be the leader, the provider, whatever. The woman could be feminine, nurturing, whatever you want to call it. You know, but a lot of times with a lot of men, we think, we just be obsessed with, oh, she look good or not. And we'll be nice to her, and the girl will be mean and barely give you the time of day and just use you or whatever. And I fell into that problem many times where I thought just the girl was pretty and I would talk to her, and then she really don't care about you. She may play in your face and tell you all the good stuff, but really whenever she get from around you, she with a dude that she actually like. She giving that dude attention that you was wanting her to give to you. She giving that to another dude who's not even giving her attention. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just smart, especially when you get on senior attention. You're not gonna put up with a girl trying to use you. You're not gonna put up with a girl manipulating you. And you're not gonna be the guy that's gonna be like, oh, I'm a man, you gotta listen to me and you can't do this. You're not gonna try to restrict no girl or put boundaries on no girl. You're just gonna get up, say have a good day, and walk away. That's what I feel like a true masculine man gonna do, because he ain't gonna get mad to where he put his hands on a girl or be yelling in a girl's face. He's gonna get up and walk away. And I think that's what I would do. If I was in situations where a girl was, and I like, I can't wait to, have a girl think she can manipulate me just for me not to even like. I'm at a place where I know a girl I'm not gonna be able to manipulate me or use me. Now me being a guy, I'm not gonna try to manipulate her or use her either. You get what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be looking for genuineness and realness. Like, if you actually like me, I'm gonna pick up if you don't like me. I'm gonna pick up if you're trying to use me for attention or whatever. You know, I'm gonna pick up on that, and I just feel good knowing that I understand that now, and I'm not gullible and naive to think, boom, oh, she said she liked me, but she don't act like it. If a girl doesn't act like she likes you, and she's distant with you, she don't like you, bro. She don't like you. And when you get on semen retention and you start getting over lust and defeating lust, and you get on this semen retention journey, man, you're gonna be able to pick that up from a mile away. You get what I'm saying? And that's gonna open the door for you to have more meaningful relationships. Because the girl gonna actually like you. Now, I don't say, oh, you gotta use her and be mean to her for her to like you. I would say still be a gentleman, still be a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? Just be cautious and don't make sure you don't have your time wasted. You know what I'm saying? Make sure the girl not trying to use you. You know, make sure she's showing like, okay, she actually like you. You know what I'm saying? And I believe you can't just wear your heart on your sleeves with a lot of stuff because it's so many girls used out there used to getting their way when it comes to because they look pretty or whatever. I think what's gonna separate you a lot of times from a girl looking at you as like a simp and a guy like she can just use and play with is when you can kind of put your foot down and be like, you know what I'm saying? You can call the girl out if she acting like she don't like you. You get what I'm saying? If she acting rude towards you, being mean, and she being super distant, you know. And it's not from a place where you just go and try to cuss a girl out, but you just recognize it and then you act accordingly. You get what I'm saying? And so I just think that's a big and that's an important thing, And that's why we have to get away from superficialness in general, because a lot of times a lot of guys will tell you, and you will hear this all over the internet, like, well, but you're a man, you can't date until you start making 200K a year. You can't date until you start making 200 plus a month. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that opens the door where relationships become transactional. It's all about what you can do for me and what I can do for you. When really, it should be about what can we do for each other? How can we make each other, you know what I'm saying? How can we grow together? You get what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to make it sound like the same thing, but uh, I believe every relationship is transactional to an extent, but you have to have genuine care in a relationship where y'all look past physical appearance. Y'all look past, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you got enough money to where, you know what I'm saying? Like it's past the money and all that type of stuff because it's people I've seen where the dude didn't have money, the girl didn't even have money, and they was together. You get what I'm saying? And to me, that proves that you ain't gotta be some millionaire type of guy. You ain't gotta be a a woman with super high standards for somebody to really care about you and really love you. You get what I'm saying? Because in the end, when we young, we looking for the best option and what can we get for the best, But I feel like as you get older, once you approach your 40s, 50s, 60s, you're not gonna be caring about, you know what I'm saying, who making money or which girl is the prettiest or whatever. You're gonna be focused on who really care about you as a human being, past everything. You get what I'm saying? And so I think that's important to look at too, because it's a lot of guys and it's a lot of women. It's a lot of women where they like, no, I gotta have the best option or whatever. And then it's a lot of guys where it's like, oh, I gotta have the prettiest girl. When you're young, it's a no brainer to think about stuff that way. But as you get older, you start to look at the human being as a whole. You get what I'm saying? And now I do believe a man should make money and try to provide and be a man, provide or whatever. And I think a woman should, be feminine or whatever. But it comes to a point where it's just like, do you care about each other outside of roles, outside of, you know what I'm saying? What can I do for you? What can you do for me? Because it's many, many, many times where I see people who don't have money and they be with each other and they still care about each other if they have $0 or if they have $1 million. I'm talking about on both sides where a girl didn't have money or a dude didn't have money. They'll like each other still. You get what I'm saying? And so I think that's we gotta start looking at stuff that way, especially when we're getting on this journey with senior attention, man. You know, you gotta get away from superficialness and start looking at stuff as if you was already that old man that because the older you get, the less you're gonna care about a fast car or a super pretty girl or all this superficial stuff. And same thing with a girl, they're gonna be looking past finding the dude that's a millionaire or finding the dude that's making a lot of money or whatever. Not saying it's a bad thing to look for those things. I'm just saying the older you get, the less you're gonna care about, you know, these little superficial standards. When you get older, you're gonna care about, can I laugh with this person? Can I get along with this person? Does this person really love me for who I am? You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're gonna care about in the long run when they get close to the end of their life or when they get older, you know. And I think that's the same thing with me, you know. That's what I'm looking at, you know. And you ain't gonna see it because a lot of times you will see a dude try to talk to a girl when they both young, but the girl be focused on other things, and the guy be, you know, he be trying to be real with the girl and actually like the girl. Years later pass, and then, you know, it's a lot of stuff I could get into about a conversation like that. But nah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.